Hey guys, hey Rick, this is Rick here. And if you guys are new to this place, listen, I'm one of those guys that's just trying to, I don't want to discredit our Bible. And in some ways, I don't want to discredit it as to being something that gets thrown away or tossed out with the garbage to the curb, that is. But that I found that there is worth in it, there is some value, and in the process of looking at it inside and out and describing it, upside down and backwards and all, it has revealed some pretty interesting things. But so what I'm trying to find is, is this such an important thing, this book? What makes it so important? And we've been told all through the lives, you just take this and read this. Don't make anything more of it. Don't take anything from it. Don't add something to it. Just do it. And what do they get? They get over 5,000 different ways of viewing it, even though they said not to. And each one of those 5,000 or more offshoots from this, all the way from the Catholics. People think where are the Catholics in this? You never talk about them. Are you kidding? That's where it all comes from. That's that sea hag. She's that bad stepsister, Yeah, and the Mother Church, So you would think that that's why they call it the Mother, because that whole idea is that they're trying to take that position of mother and father. They have you call him father, and then the church is the mother, and it's just disgusting, just as disgusting as what we learned from the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, that it's really a lot about sex. It's about incest, and that particular part of the book isn't so far after that the land was divided, and after Noah and his sons inherited and took over the earth and then divided it. It happens right after that we are introduced into the Abraham and Sarah story. Maybe we'd say, I want to take that back, that idea of reading upside down. There was the idea of the pillar of the salt. When his wife turned into the pillar of salt, it didn't have a counter on this side. It only had a counter on the other side. So because of that glitch, I'm going to just throw the whole idea of reading it backwards. I'm just going to kind of put that off to the side for now. It's interesting that the same story, you still get the same story. It's just, you get the same story, But if you want to hear that the men in the town are gay, and that it's about homosexuality, and it's about being deprived, and it's God's warning onto people like you that this will be destroyed, and yes, these places, we have found there are cities that are destroyed, and they all have this little sulfur thing around there, Hey, these people that write these things, they say, well, they're going south, they're going down, and they say, well, they're going down by some place that's in the south, or they're going by some place that's in the north. These places actually exist, and they talk about the Great Jordan River and this and that and the Euphrates and stuff, but they're symbolically using these names and these kinds and different kinds of people to describe the particular characters and personalities of what goes on inside of us. So the whole idea behind this area here, right here, is in the beginning of this Bible, which they call the Logos. It doesn't mean a religious Bible. It's a working. What do they call that thing when you used to have this in your glove compartment of your car? An operator's manual. An operator's manual for the body. That's really what this is. And so if we take it from the beginning as they put it together, they're introducing the different characters, you know. We just heard about the sons of Noah, lots of sons and lots of sons. And then when we get over on this side, it's all sons. It's still sons. Abraham and all his sons and sons. And then, you know, we find out that, yes, his wife was his sister by his mother. So he's just all into incest, you know, and this freaks out the outside of him who says, wow, this what I do? I actually have to, you know, but this is just a conscious idea. When we talk about the outside, it'd be like the influences from the outside on you. Like, don't do that, you know. If you venture inside yourself, if you meditate, you venture, you're going to release the demons. And you don't want to do that, you know. That single eye, that's demonic. That's the all-seeing eye, you know. And it's crap. It's just a bunch of lies. So you see, when you're put on that, you would say that, yeah, the outside is influencing me not to do this. But the Bible is telling me to do this. And it's calling them on the outside mankind, and it's calling those on the inside Jews. And, you know, that means anybody who is inside, goes inside themselves and makes these relationships with their mother, with their sister, and with their brother, and then they have their sons, their own sons that we're going to be making out of this, you know. That because when we go inside of ourselves, you know, and God says, you know, not to touch her, he decide when in the script it says, you know, and I made it so that you can't sin against me, and he says, and I bid you not to touch her. And so, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, she was barren. You're the one that's been giving her these things, you know. I've been having a ball with my maid's wives, you know, my maidsmen, and just having one right after another, having a great old time. But my wife, she's barren, you know, and it's not my fault. I can't touch her, you know. But when he goes under, when he goes down, when the sun goes down and he's getting even in the day, in the morning, early in the morning, when the sun is rising, he gets up and he runs around and he meets her and he comes and hangs out with her. It's really beautiful, the stories. He hangs out with her and his son, you know. This is the whole idea. It's actually the son is bringing him. They're all inside there together. Their mother and their father and their brothers and their sisters. And Lot is in there and his two daughters. And they're just making out all over well, they've only make out once. And, you know, this is, and Lot and his wife, these are all things that are about you. And, of course, when you go inside, it's not like making love to yourself. It's like you're making love with your brothers and your sisters, you know. And I think that's kind of freaky, but at the same time, it's what that secret is. As they talk about that Sodom and Gomorrah, and then the fire and the brimstones that fall from heaven. This is number 7. Number 7 on the list is when you make it over into this. This is the action that you get. This is the fire and brimstones. It's, you know, we have Adam running out to go with his men. They're all going towards Sodom, which is they're going towards their, you know, they're going towards Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom is when they turn their heads. When something turns their head, they're going down. The men are going to sleep. That means that we have activated our consciousness to go into meditation. And Abraham follows his men. So make sure that they're all together. And then this thing happens. This thing, even God says, should I hide this thing that I do from Abraham? And said no. And he's and boom, you know, showed him that, you know, hey, if there was one person in, or 10 persons, if there was 20 persons, if there was 30 persons, well, actually, let's flip it back around the way they read it in the real book. Was if there was 50 people in there, would you save that town? You wouldn't destroy the whole place, would you? Because it certainly ain't like you to be like that, to kill the wicked people and these other people at the same time, and the righteous at the same time. It's just far be from you to do such a thing. Why would the judge of all things do wrong? You know, so that right there is a really beautiful thing, because because it shows God doesn't really kill things. You know, that this idea that all these people were restored, and he remembered Abraham, and he remembered the wife, and he remembered all these things, and he remembered them, and he brought someone out of the midst. You know, and this whole idea about Lot and his two daughters. This is another part of us. That's that gatekeeper, you know, sitting on the side of, you know, where the cherubims are facing each other like this. So it's really, this part of the story is just teaching you, these are the characters for the next run of things. And you'll notice that the person that was born to her, that red guy, that Moab guy, and everything with red or red hair is going to wind up being like, you know, these are Ishmael, and what the idea is that red means the lower mind, the tilling, you know, the guy that tills. This is Cain and Abel. Cain has red hair and Abel doesn't. Alright, doesn't matter what color hair it is, it just doesn't have red, but the other one does. You know, that's really fun. That's the carnal earth. That's the carnal earth mind. And this one here, he is the one that tills the earth, which means to meditate. And the other one is the one that that's in charge of the sheep or doing something else, you know. And they get really paid, the guy that does nothing all the time. That's the way the story goes. And they set out to kill this guy. That's the way the stories go, right? And, you know, and there's this in-between things that's, you ain't allowed over there, you know. And so, you know, you get this wrath that comes this way, and then you get this, you know, this want to take it away on the other side. So this is the power of the good and evil, the battle of the conscious, of the human being, the left and the right, night and day, you know, good and evil, the angels that sit on here. But, you know, what we've learned out of all of this, that your choice is to either live out of the left side or augment that left side by dying, killing yourself, hating yourself. That's one of my things. Damn. That this red side of yours is the stronger side because it kills this other side, and this other side is weak because it doesn't defend itself. Not like that. You know, when you say you're not going, when you say that you don't believe in this, you don't go. It's nothing there. It's that there's a death in there, and it's just, you know, that dog don't hunt, you know. But, you know, I was in my 50s when I started hunting again, you know, and the story of Abraham and Sarah winds up being that of age, that they were in their 90s when this happened. So it's like, hey, you know, that's a blessing and a kindness unto itself, that it's never too late to find this out, and then to put it to use in your life, you know. The whole conscious idea of this meditation and this entering within yourself, just to touch a particular place inside you like the stone, and to get it to fire up, and then to bring you all these wonderful things from heaven. This is this idea of creating the energy flow that can spark off the 7th chakra and allow a delta frequency to ignite the brain and do whatever it has to do. You know, and it just rushes through your whole body. And I believe that this is where our knowledge came from. You know, when people wrote, I came from above. Where'd you get that information? I don't know. I was doing this and something happened. There's no Anunnakis that said that we're mining for gold. We are mining for gold when we go up here. The chemical idea of changing brass or lead into gold. This is changing your red aside into something that's more palatable towards this higher energy or higher knowledge or higher conscious. The gold. You, with your works, change from brass through gold. The silver is about the idea of passing through, and then a gold is what you have on the other side. So you got to understand that as we get going on with these stories, they're just going to be repeating themselves. Moses, where are you? I'm here. We heard that from Abraham, where art thou? Where are you? I'm here. All right, and we haven't even gotten very far. But they've connected the cherubims and the cherubims together. The mercy seat that we talked about. They've connected the 7 chakras with the lamps that we have to work on and open up. And you're going to see that it runs from 7s to 7s and 7s, and you can open up your own book right now, and every time I just read, for your own, if you say, I don't know any of this shit, go to any particular place that you like, but read with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Read those first 7 and see if it doesn't start off with like an initiation, that's the beginning, like in God said, and then the second one would say and thou said unto them, take thee into thy hands, so that's a 2, or you're my creation, and I am going to command you to do this, and you're like, because you're number 2, and number 3 will be like, and everybody has come involved, gotten in the house and had a great time. Everyone's, we've got the crazy guys here, and we got the not so crazy guys, and we're all together in one group, And it's also this blessing, that 3, and so 4, look for things that have something to do with kingdoms. My kingdom is upon you, or look into the stars and look at this. That's 4, the 4 natures of your mind, and the intellect, and this, and you can look at them. They have 4 in there. When I start saying and such 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 and such, that's 4. Each one of those are worlds. You got to figure out which one is the intellect, because that's on one side, and you got to figure out which one is going to be the spiritual side, which is going to be the right side. And I got them all mixed up on my hands here. That's how it works with me and dyslexia. But that's how it works. The left side is the black side, and the right side is the white side. And the other 2, take their turns. But the way it's been working out to be, it's been working like we're traveling from east to west. But that's the way the stories are going right now. Everybody's going kind of downhill. So it would go west and north, which is the emotions, and south would be your physical side, and east, of course, would be your spiritual side, towards the mountain. So you would find that you could figure this out. 6 would be an accomplishment, like they're all gathering together. Go get this, go and do this, let's get that together. It's all, get ready, we're all getting ready to have oh my goodness, And then 7 is, it's like, shit, things are gonna happen, the wrath of God's gonna happen, or you're gonna die, or some kind of something, a threat, or food, I'm gonna feed you now, something. We got shepherds opening wells and things like that all over the place. And then you got, and then the next one is banquet, food, and the fatted cow was killed and brought in, and the water was brought in, and oh my goodness, this is like, it's come home, da-dum, everybody, there was a victory, la-di-da, That's how it goes, all right? And those little places on the inside and the sides of the arcs and stuff like that, we found it all was about consciousness. It was about the measurements and the numbers 9s and 7s and 3s throughout. And that it's all symbolism. It's all symbolism. And I'm going to show you that it's absolutely mind-bogglingly, mechanically put together. All right, and I am going to bounce around. I don't care to do this whole Bible, but there's some interesting things that are going on in this Bible, and we're going to get to the root of it. So I just thought I'd say that. I am going to be getting to work. I've got it all ready. I wrote, like, today was my administrative day, and so I wrote everything down that I want to do and need to get done. We'll see if I get it done. All right. See you guys, and best to you.